Oh, Shin, I don't think having Taco Bell for dinner was a great idea.
いや一元に引いてた人間っていうのはともすれば気難しいものですからね。
Hey, it's Shotaro Ishinomori.
Fatality.
Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku and Animation News Network. Today I'm kicking off the first of a 4-part series taking a look at Media Blaster's Blu-ray release of the Kamen Rider movie trilogy. I'm starting with Shin Kamen Rider Prologue. No, not that Shin Kamen Rider, the other Shin Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider had seemingly come to an end with the finale to Black RX. There hadn't been a series for several years, despite 1991 celebrating the 20th anniversary of the franchise. Supposedly, the true reason for this was because Bandai wanted to focus on Ultraman given 1991 was his 25th anniversary instead. Therefore, Kamen Rider had to sit in the corner and wait for the Ultra fun to end. When production finally did begin on a celebratory project, a direct-to-video film, Ishinomori wanted to be geared towards the adults who grew up with the original show and required it to be heavy on drama and feature sequences to signify this. Yep. Because sex scenes are obviously the most important aspect to an adult film or TV show.
I keep watching that show and I'm still waiting for the darn dragons to show up and kick everyone's butts. But all I get is wiener, wiener, wiener.
The movie was originally planned to be titled Kamen Rider Zero, as it was meant to take place before the protagonist, Shin Kazumatsuri, actually becomes the titular masked hero as he starts out as a monster. The proposed idea would have Zero leading into a full-length series called Kamen Rider Gaia, which is where Shin would don a true costume. The movie ended up being renamed Shin Kamen Rider Prologue, but failed so spectacularly no follow-up was ever produced. Was Shin Prologue's failure justified, or is it just a misunderstood masterpiece? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. As stated, our lead character is Shin Kazumatsuri, and he transforms into a monstrous bug creature. At the start of the film, Shin is essentially a guinea pig. His dad is the leading scientist in a program to find a cure for various diseases and test their vaccines on him. Every night he has nightmares of women being killed and learn they are real, causing him to think he is the murderer. His belief is reinforced in one incident where he followed his dad's colleague and passed out just as the scientist transformed into a monster and murdered an entire squadron of soldiers. Shin woke up to find bodies everywhere.
Did I do that?
Eventually, he ends up transforming into a grotesque grasshopper-looking monster and fights another horrendous creature while protecting the remains of a military unit. He then has to figure out what his path in life is going to be, relying on the advice of his kind of, sort of, but not girlfriend Asuka and best friend Takuya Yuki to get him through his situation. Ultraman fans may recognize Shin's actor, Shin Ishikawa, for he portrayed the original human host of Hikari and Mabius.
Zaidan.
Meanwhile, Yumi Nomura and Masanobu Takashima are Ai and Takuya.
ロードレースの夢を忘れたのか。世界グランプリの夢を忘れたのかよ。
俺は別にそんなつもりじゃ。
置けるな。
最初はレベル2段階での商品化がプロジェクトの方針だったのよ。それが従来のアンドロイド工学にプラスされて最初のいわゆる生体兵器が生まれたわ。
It turns out the program has an ulterior motive in mind, as an evil organization simply known as the Syndicate is also using the experiments to create cyborg soldiers, which explains Shin's mutation. Who the Syndicate is unknown, but they are apparently the greatest evil to ever exist. Either way, Shin's boss, Iwao Himura, blackmails Shin's dad into continuing the project, and his plan is to sell these soldiers to the military for personal gain.
これまで通り研究を続けてください。
いや、
今さら降りるのは無理ですよ。
やはり何かあるんだな、このプロジェクトに。
Himura is played by Jaijiro Harada, who would go on to become the G-Force commander in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla a year later.
I will send sample tonight. No? No problem, no problem.
どういうことかと聞いてるんだ。
No trouble.
いい加減に説明してくれ。
I will call back again.
His bodyguard is another cyborg with the name Gojima, who ends up becoming the main antagonist for Shin. While all this is going on, Shin finds himself being followed by a CIA agent who survived the attack in the warehouse, who is also hunting down the Syndicate, Seira Fuwamachi, portrayed by Kiyomi Sakata.
I understand. So, I'm going to use our best team to finish Shin Kamen.
Overall, this movie is a total mess. The plot is all over the place, lacks focus, but worst of all, Shin Kamen Rider Prologue is flat out boring. None of the characters are remotely interesting. It also lacks a sense of pacing, as there are some scenes that occur far too quickly while others feel dragged out. There's too many subplots. They could have easily shaved 15 minutes off of this film and nothing of value would have been lost. Shin himself is so generic and one-dimensional. He apparently wanted to be a bike racer but gave up his dream to help his dad, though the reasons behind this are kind of unclear, especially when he seems to regret his decision the entire time. While the movie title may be Shin Kamen Rider Prologue, it's actually more like Emo Kamen Rider Prologue. Or Mopey Kamen Rider Prologue, because Shin is clearly the original whiny little bitch Kamen Rider. The cast is so dry that I just don't give a damn about anything happening to any of them. Sailor's character arc is erratic at best, with her just betraying Shin out of the blue despite fully knowing he is not a villain.
残念だわ、シン。殺したくなかったけど。あなたも鬼塚と同じ全く新しい最強のサイボーグソルジャーと分かった以上、生かしておくわけにいかない。
There's also a forced love triangle between Shin, Ai, and Takuya that is briefly mentioned and then never truly developed. It's just there for some pretend drama and amounts to absolutely nothing.
なあ、愛ちゃん、こいつになんとか言っちゃってくれよ。いや、俺がさ、優柔不断してると愛ちゃんのこと取っちゃうぞっつってんだけど、まるっきりこいつったら気がちっちゃくてさ。
The ending is convoluted and nonsensical to the point where I'm unsure as to whether I'm supposed to cry at it or laugh hysterically. Whatever the case may be, it leaves you feeling empty on the inside as you're pondering what the hell you just spent 90 minutes watching. The effects and music. Shin Kamen Rider Prologue would make David Cronenberg proud. I find it fascinating that back when Kamen Rider Black was first coming out, Ishinomori wanted a show that featured a lot of body horror, but his proposal was rejected. Imagine his surprise when Toei decided they would make the new film very Cronenberg-esque. And from a body horror standpoint, the effects works. Shin's first transformation scene is grotesque. The first fight between Shin and Gojima was very atmospheric. And the shot of Shin with the night sky and fog behind him is nothing short of incredible. Speaking of Gojima, the look of his cyborg form resembles the Karloff Frankenstein monster and is pretty damn badass, though he is meant to be a spider. As far as Kamen Rider villain designs are concerned, he is top tier and the best thing about this film. Now there is a funny sequence during Shin's second fight with Gojima, as around the 80-minute mark you can see suit actor Kazutoshi Yokoyama's lower face when he is being punched.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
While the characters and plotting of the movie may not be up to par, I feel like the biggest contributing factor is with this movie's music. A soundtrack can make or break a movie. I've seen plenty of incredible movies ruined by a terrible score. Well, there have been horrible movies salvaged by an energetic orchestra. Shin Prologue has none of that. It was composed by Ryuto Ozaki, and while there are some decent compositions, it's very reserved. It lacks energy, even during the climactic battle. It is worth noting that Ozaki is also an actor and played Admiral Tachibana in Godzilla GMK. Oh, and there's an ending theme titled Forever by Noriko Watanabe that is just grating on the ears. Shin Kamen Rider Prologue was a slog to get through despite only being an hour and a half. The characters are so damn boring. They're like watching paint dry. I hope this is not what this entire set is going to be like. This one is for the Kamen Rider fan who wants to watch everything Kamen Rider. Until next time, bye.